What if I told you you're wasting your time trying to fix your trauma? Would you hate me? But what if I showed you how healing can be completely different? Maybe you'd change your mind. And no, accepting isn't giving up. By the way, if you're with me so far, hit that like button. It helps more people discover this life-changing perspective. How many times have you heard just get over it or leave it behind? As if trauma is some bill you can just pay off and be done with. But here's the tough truth. Not everything can be fixed. However, everything can be healed. And there's a huge difference between those two things that can truly transform your entire life. In the next few minutes, I'm going to share something that completely shifted my perspective. If this resonates with you, please share this video. It might be exactly what someone in your life needs to hear today. For years, I tried to fix the things that happened to me. Like I was a car in a repair shop, you know? Replacing parts, making adjustments, hoping one day I'd be good as new. But trauma isn't a broken car. It's a scar. And scars don't disappear, they become a part of who you are. The difference is a healed scar doesn't hurt when you touch it anymore. If you're thinking, wow, that makes so much sense, then help me share this understanding with more people by hitting that follow button. Conversations about healing need to reach those who truly need it, don't you think? So what's the real difference between fixing and healing? Fixing is trying to go back to your original state. It's like wishing it never happened. But healing is integrating that experience into your story in a way that it no longer controls you. The Japanese have a beautiful technique called Kintsugi. When a vase breaks, they glue the pieces back together with gold. The vase doesn't go back to being what it was. It becomes something new, even more beautiful. The cracks become part of its beauty. That's the difference between trying to forget and learning to live with it. Now tell me, have you ever heard this perspective before? Drop a comment below, because I read all of them and love to hear what you think. Wait, are you telling me to just accept bad things that happen to me? Isn't that just giving up? No, and this is where most people get confused. Accepting isn't agreeing, accepting isn't liking. Accepting isn't stopping your fight for change. Accepting is simply stopping the energy drain of trying to change the past. It's acknowledging that it happened, that it marked you, but that you get to decide what you do with that mark from now on. You know what happens when you stop trying to fix and start to heal? You stop being a hostage to what happened. Because as long as you're trying to undo the past, you're not living in the present. It's like trying to drive a car only looking in the rearview mirror. You might move forward, but you're bound to crash into something. Healing is when you learn to look forward, knowing the rearview mirror is still there, but it's no longer the only place you look. And that's where the real changes in your life begin. So how do you actually do this? First, stop asking, why did this happen to me, and start asking, what can I do with this now? Second, understand that feeling pain doesn't mean you're not healing. Healing isn't about stopping feeling, it's about learning to feel without being destroyed by it. Third, recognize that you are more than what happened to you. Your experiences are part of your story, but they are not your entire story. And fourth, allow yourself to be different. You don't need to go back to who you were before. Maybe who you are now is even better. I'm going to tell you something that completely changed my perspective. The most resilient people I know aren't those who never broke. They are the ones who learned to shine through their cracks. They didn't pretend nothing happened. They didn't try to go back to who they were before. They accepted that they were transformed by the experience and chose to be transformed for the better. And you know what's incredible? When you stop trying to fix and start to heal, you don't just transform yourself. You become capable of helping others do the same. That's why I make these videos, you know? Because if this is making sense to you, it will probably make sense to someone you know. And when you share, you're part of this chain of healing that goes far beyond just the two of us here. If you've made it this far, it's because something in this video resonated with you. And I want you to know that acknowledging that is already the first step. Leave a comment below telling me, what's one thing you've been trying to fix but maybe need to learn to heal instead? You don't need to give details, just a word if you like. But share it with me, because creating that connection is part of the healing process. And hey, if you liked what you heard today, there are two things you can do that would help a lot. First, subscribe to the channel and hit that bell icon, because I post content about healing and personal transformation every week. And second, share this video with someone who also needs to hear this. Because every like, every comment, every share helps YouTube show this content to more people who are going through what you've experienced. And sometimes a different perspective is all someone needs to truly start healing. See you in the next video, and remember, you don't need to be fixed, you just need to be healed.